have the best Italian words for what I want to say. So let me start with the ego death vortex. It's something we have debated because every time you enter an immersive world, well, your own world is dying. So this is a Jungian concept, and in a certain sense, stepping into this direction where you enter from your own world into your own world, which is unknown, which is new, that has to be discovered, to do this step, you need an ego death. So we spoke about this, and moreover, Charan Jaron Lanier, our founder, who explained that with new works of art, with new technology transformations, with enabling technologies, it's like writing in sand, and it's going to be a challenge for Ilaria, for her new museum, how to hold on to these works when those technologies will be overcome and will be substituted by new enabling structures. So we also spoke of this other metaphor, the digital sediment. You are like an exposed mountain, and you can look at all of the layers of change in time, because this is an accelerated change, and which will be faster and faster in changing. We have also spoke of the arrival of the immersive world, of the metaverse. I remember the death of the e-world, where in fact there was a tombstone for the e-world, and it was, the death of a second life. And the first time I entered eWorld, I understood that it was not a virtual world. And this, makes us go back to what Roberto Diodato told us. It's virtual, but it's actual, it's present, because it impacts our feelings inside and outside of us. And so this is how I think of these concepts of Desjardins and Cluen, of altering the inner. And this is the process of immersive environments. And I believe that the most important thing still is that more and more we become aware and knowledgeable of our real world, the more and more we are aware of being able of creating, I apologize, and building our new worlds, the blue flag. This is something new that does not exist in our reality, but it exists in our immersive experience. So it exists in our reality, even if it doesn't exist. So thank you, Roberto, because you really touched based on these themes that we've debated. We were quite lucky because we had Mario and Adriano and our team, and they told us, because they managed some works that dealt with immersivity with their work. And once they've understood all this, they told us that in reality there's something that is more expressive. And I look at the younger generations who live in the immersive world. They experience this immersive world more than us. They have this idea of the analog world, the analog alternative is no longer there. It's a new way of envisaging the present world, the power of this world, because they've understood the basics of this other world, this otherness. And then we've also understood that there are challenges in the immersive world. The challenge of the 15 minutes, the hyper 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, you do not feel uh, well anymore. So how can we set forth a revolution and then we have this problem? If you are moving inside this virtual reality move, you are not feeling sick, or you're not feeling unwell. And so there are many studies. Maria Grazia spoke of the caves. In the back in the 1996, I had an immersive reality theater. Now we have the HoloLens. So we really see this transformation happening. And then we've also spoken of this river, the wow effect river. We spoke of the Lascaux caves, where there's this magic with this potentiality offered by the digital means as the container of the Y effect, which is of fundamental importance for art. So all of these steps and iterations of wow effects that use new technologies and new insights brought about by new technologies. Then the software abilities, and then Mauro spoke of the free data cloud, because we have this problem. We have data, but they're not the proper ones. Only few can control data. So we really need a free data cloud, like, photography when it was liberated, when it was offered freely, uh, offering the patent to everybody so that everybody could freely use it. So how can we envisage this free data cloud in a very different way vis-a-vis what is happening right now? Then we spoke of the smelly beacon or lighthouse, then the Lincoln Park, the development world, and the antecedents of these works that were carried out in the 90s, that are repeated and will be repeated in 10 years' time, and then in uh, other 10 years, there's a return, like Cocteau said. If I speak of an immersive work, I think of Miracolo a Milano, which is made by the studio Azzurro, and which has now vanished. It was a moment of our life. Then again, we spoke of the possibilities of virtual worlds, what is done and researched at the CERN. Then we spoke of the atomic bomb, the new world of the last 70 years that is embodied in the collaboration of with CERN, and what threatens this sense of collaboration in these last months because of what is happening. Then we spoke of these new frontiers of immersions, because you see, we are entering into these immersive experiences. But how do these bodies, virtual bodies, interact? How can we create an immersiveness? And then we discussed the idea of these new frontiers that we have to solve. And the most interesting aspect, I believe, was this ring road idea that really tracks all of these activities. The storytelling ring road, which is of fundamental importance in digital art. So the storytelling, the new storytelling, and we've heard from Eva and Franco Mattes, our colleagues in New York, really have created a new story that they are trying the to make understandable to the world. And so this ring road is probably the reason why we are